Morning, everybody. Mornings. All our YouTube streamers, welcome to our quick trade trading room session. It's good to be with you guys. Can everybody see me? Can everybody see me? Please let me know. Good morning. Good morning. Mike, hectic evening. Hectic evening. And you know what is so great about what you just mentioned? It's when you truly are getting to a place where you understand the charts a little better and you can read them better, you can appreciate when that fundamentals actually comes out and you can actually be like, okay, great, I understand. I think that is a fantastic place to be. I think one of the loneliest places is when you are not 100% sure and you have a trade in the market and then all of a sudden it goes the opposite way and you're like, Ash, what's going on? All right, so you really pointed out something important. It wasn't absolutely Jethro. We're going to get into that now. But guys, remember, we were chatting about this thing and we said there's a lot of volatility. We said it's unpredictable and we were taking risk based on that. All right, the unpredictability. But it was great. It was fun. Let's go into some detail there and see what's actually happening. What could possibly happen? We together is the second session I have with you guys. We want to go into a bit of detail. Things have seemingly, or it seems to have died down, but we still have the NFP tomorrow. So that can also add a bit of craziness to the market. We're going to have to check it out. All right. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Remember, guys, as always, we are a licensed FSP. We also license over-the-counter derivatives provider. If there's anyone that's new here this morning, please let me know. I'd like to welcome you, and I'd obviously encourage the other traders in the room to also welcome you. Also, remember, I'm a registered rep with the FSCA there, and I'm authorized then to offer you advice. And then also, guys, cut off for withdrawals there. Mondays to Fridays, 1500 hours, and Saturdays at 9 a.m. And then please, guys, if you need to get hold of us via live chat, you can. All right. The trading support department, that is the area that you need to click on, at least the option trading support. You'll find myself, Roger, or you'll find Jacques De Beer there, and we will then assist you with any queries you have. All right. What's also important, guys, for you guys to note, as always, is our phases. And we're going to go and see what happened with that dollar, because I have those phases on lock on TradingView, where I've showed you the dollar index or the individual performance of the dollar. And we're going to see what has actually happened there. You guys saw the spikes. We pushed up crazily, on some of the pairs. On the dollar index, we pushed down, it weakened. And so we're going to go into that detail and check it out. Is everybody clear with that? Everybody 100% with that? Any questions before we get going? And then we're going to push on, all right? It's because I'm sharing, Jethro, sharing the screen, okay? That's a norm, though, whenever I'm sharing the screen, okay? 100 there, okay, all right. Jan, goeiemorgen. All right. Check Lorenzo there, porcupine, right? Good morning, Vedna. Alessa, good to see you. Van, Pitt, good to see you. I'm just seeing some of the guys. Godfrey, Tabit, and Fani. Before we get started, I'm just taking a quick count, just seeing who's here and just making sure that you're cool. Michael Kane, good to see you again. Shemaine, okay, there's okay, Mike's there. First one in, Mr. W, Teresa, there's Laik, all right, Philip, Seri, Kimmy's there, Solly's here, all right, Spindile, Adeline, the Bone Collector, Meryl, Ricky, Gerard, good. All right, Nikita, good morning, boy, to Mel, Angel, good to see you again as well there. Petro, good to see you as well. Killer Bets. All right, guys, let's push, man. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what is happening here. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. Just give me a second. That's the dollar index now. I'm going to share the dollar index with you and look at the spike. Look at that spike, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if I zoom out, we've pushed down to the look at that, the 110 area there. Can you see it? 110 area. That was the weakness in the dollar. All right. Now, what's very important, look at the time. Are we together? Look at the time there. So that was at that announcement. Are we together, guys? So what's very, very, very important is the following, guys, is that this here was discussed, all right, in terms of the 50 basis points that we would see in mid-September possibly. But if you guys were reading and you saw that Jerome Powell said something totally different. His comments were that it is premature. He used the wording premature for them to slow down the tightening of or the raising of those rates. Did you guys see that? Let me make sure everybody saw that. So he said it's premature, and he said that they are more than likely to continue with raising these rates. And remember, he said that they might even raise it well to 5%. It's now 4%. We went up by 75 basis points, 0.75%. Are we together? And so we said that it is likely we will move to 5%. Is everybody clear? So obviously that is creating turmoil. Now there's two conflicting statements there. The first one, before the release of the interest rate, there was talks about that we would slow down. He comes in, leaves a comment saying no, it's premature. Now look at the conflicting views there. Can you see what creates the drama in the market, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm going to go back to Mike's statement early this morning when he just got in and said it was a hectic evening. Guys, what's very important about that specific part is this, is that if you are not acquainted with the charts like we are doing now, that information that I just mentioned won't mean squat to you. It won't mean nothing to you. Does that make sense, everybody? But if you are following and you're understanding the movement better and you're understanding how the price is affected by what, politics, economics, etc., you appreciate them saying this mid-December, 50 basis points, and now no, it's premature. You'll appreciate that kind of statements because now you can apply it. All right. Is everybody clear with that, guys? Is everybody 100%? Is everybody 100%? Apologies. I'm seeing there, that's premature speculate. You see, again, Jacob, that's the thing. It's conflicting. So that gives traders once more the mindset of, okay, so what is going to happen? So what you have to do is you have to look at this thing from a technical basis now as well. All right. Look at the year so far. Not the year, the month. Look at this here. Look at this month so far. So here's the start of November for the dollar index. And this in between this period and this period, that's October. So in November, we are moving up to an area where October was creating a resistance. So we're moving up to October's resistance, well, at least getting there. We first need to close above the 112 area before we go up to the resistance at 114. Are we together? So if we closing above the 114 area like this, then obviously you are answered there, Jacob, 100%. Are we together? You already answered that this could be some dollar strength coming in if we are raising those heights by default. And I said to Jethro yesterday, because he did make a comment there, and I did say that sometimes things are not always realistic as what they may seem. And I said to you that, you know, when you're looking at by the books, by default, higher interest rates, they depict a stronger currency. So if Jerome Powell is saying to us that there are more rates coming, more hike rates, all right, then we are then under the assumption, under the umbrella that we're going to see a stronger dollar, which then connotes, or at least means, if I can put it like that, that we are pushing higher than October. Then we should be pushing by the book. Does that make sense? But realistically speaking, look what happened yesterday. Two conflicting statements. All right. And if that does not happen, then obviously, guys, that spike, is just in grounds for us to say we got to go and balance this specific spike out here by pushing down, which means this just becomes another lower high. Is everybody clear? It just becomes another lower high now in the greater scheme of things. All right. When you're looking at the, let me show it to you like this. When you're looking at that retracement. So that retracement, remember there's a high, that was a low there. We created a lower high there. We created a lower low here. And now we're creating another high. But could this be the breakout high, or is this just another lower high to advance down, which we discussed yesterday? There's nothing different from what we've discussed. Does that make sense, everybody? There's nothing different from what we actually analyzed yesterday. This was, you can see this, look at that. This is where we are now. We are not far from where we were. We broke the high, yes, sure, but we are still beneath that zone there. So at this point in time, let's see what the NFP does. There is expectation we're going to have a more solid gain there in the job sector as well. Now, guys, is that enough? The question we have to ask, we know where we are technically. Is everybody together here? We know where we are technically now in the dollar. So will the NFP push us further up? Or will it be worse than expected? Are we together? Because you guys know when inflation is high, what happens to jobs, guys? What happens to jobs? When jobs come down, isn't it so, guys? Because remember, they need to pay people more money. So they can't afford, so they need to cut jobs. Is everybody clear? All right. And if there's less jobs, that means there's less productivity in the system. Is everybody clear there? So that's by the book now. That's by the book. That's if we're talking economics and you studied and you're aware of these things. Does it make sense, everybody? All right. And so if that is the case, let's say there is a stronger job increase, will it be enough for the price to break out all the way to the top? In my opinion, you guys, at this point in time, we could see a movement up here, but I don't think that the NFP has enough juice to push us all the way through the roof right there. Honestly, are we together? That is also my speculation. It's my opinion. Are we together? Because if you look at the daily frame here and even the weekly, there is just look at all these daily candles here, guys. Look at all those daily candles here. All right. Let's quickly go and jump to the weekly. Remember, now I'm dealing with momentum here, guys. The other reason is because the momentum is not above the zone here yet. So the NFP doesn't have the juice to push us all the way up. We need a weekly candle to be closing above these specific areas. So I don't think that the NFP has enough juice in one day, in 5 minutes, to push us up all the way to 119. That just doesn't make sense. Does it make sense, everyone? All right. In 5 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes. That was the question, I believe, Fani, that you had for me yesterday. How long can it actually, take for us to see a push? All right. What is the time frame there? And I said to you, look between 3 to 5 minutes. I doubt that that's going to have a closing on the weekly, because then you got to look at the rest of the day. Is everybody with me? Remember, the markets close later on in the evening. So will the money be sustained for the weekly candle to close above that area there? I beg to differ. If it happens, I'll swallow my words. Is everybody clear? If it happens, I'll swallow my words. But I do not think that the NFP will have enough juice to push it all the way up. It's rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times this entire month. If you count that in terms of candles there, is everybody clear? An entire month has rejected. So one session or one job report. Is everybody clear there? Everybody 100, please make a note of that so we can see and we can track it next week. So we can see what happened with the NFP. Did it actually put the juice there? Did it not? Was there rejection? That's the thing with trading the markets, is that you got to put that test in. You got to monitor. You got to analyze it. All right. And guys, I'm going to conclude here with the dollar index stating that once you've understood what I just mentioned here, now you have to decide, am I taking the risk on that or not? It always refers and goes back to the question, are you going to take the risk knowing now that the NFP could push that specific index up, but not necessarily close above that 114 to take us to 117 and 119? Because even if it did close above there, all right, as a weekly, we would still get another retracement back down again. Does that make sense? For it to push all the way up. Look at this big push here, up, and then we went all the way down for 2 weeks after that. Then we up, and then we down another 2 weeks. So even if we do push up, there's no way we're going to push all the way up again. So we will just come back again. Is everybody clear there, guys? All right. So let's push. Let's go and see what is happening in the rest of the charts. Let's go to the MT5 and let's look at what had happened there. You guys saw the downside with the indices as well. Did you guys check it out? Look at the downside there, and we said do not buy it yet. Yesterday we said do not buy, please relax. All right. And can you guys see this? Crazy, we were here. We were trending down here. I showed you guys that specific pattern on all 3 major US indices. All right. You got stopped out here by the spike there, Jethro. We said, please don't buy. Yep. I got stopped out as well with the NZD USD. All right. Look at that spike there. Look at that spike there. It's all good. It's all good. It happens. Are we together? It happens. It happens. It's the market. The market is crazy. There we go. Like, he also got stopped. Now, this is like a confession session. A confession session. And guys, it happens to the best of us. Is everybody with me here? It happens to the best of us. All right. So there's another one there. Look at that. Boom. Spike to the downside. We said, please let us not buy here. All right. With me a little, it's a confession session. Oh my word. All right, Dow Jones also to the upside. Are we together? I'm seeing the guys mentioning, yeah, no, look, I agree, man. I agree. Took place them my trades that reached stop loss and without Wi-Fi. We take them absolutely, Jethro. Woo! Let's give Etienne a round of applause, guys. Let's give Etienne a round. Coming and just breaking the ice for us there, hey guys? Just breaking it for us there. Thank you, EJ. At least for the team, yeah. That's how we do. That's how we do. All right, beautiful, man. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. All right, so guys, as you can see here, what we're doing in this specific case, we are waiting. Let's see what happens here. We do see a bit more downside, obviously, amidst what has happened. Is everybody with me here? At a line, think yes, the USD JPY did work out nicely. It did. I saw the spike to the TP. It hit up TP 100%. And we have to give credit there to the weakness of the dollar that came in there. All right. But also, Isiyabonga online. Isiyabonga online. Because there's something that I need to mention there, but we will get there now when we get to the dollar pairs. All right. So guys, just to conclude here real quick, the major indexes. All right. I see you this here. Good. Just to conclude on this, the major indices here, you can see they have come down. We are still seeing a bit of more downside here, ladies and gentlemen, based on what is happening. If the dollar keeps on strengthening the way it is doing at this point, let me just go back to the dollar. Please remember, this is not overall strength. This is temporal in this specific case. All right. So there it is right there. If we go further, then obviously those indices go further down. At this point in time, there's strength in the dollar, and we're seeing that also filtering then through to the US indices, which is the opposite result of it pushing down. That's it. It's that simple, all right? But remember, we have the NFP coming out tomorrow. Is everybody clear? So there's guys that lost money yesterday. Guess what they're going to try and do tomorrow as well now? Do you see? So it could become another volatile session because they want to make up for it. Does that make sense? So if the dollar strengthens as an example now, because it weakened yesterday, if it strengthens tomorrow, now you're going to get some guys buying the dollar now. Is everybody clear? That's what the market does. That's how they make money. That's how they make money. Are we together? All right. Let's then push further now. Let's go into the rest of the guys that we have. We're going to go to Brent, and you can see where it has reached. Look at this. You can see where it has reached. It's reached the 95. We pushed up very nicely to the 95 area, which we've highlighted, hit the resistance, and has come down. All right, but what's very important, I know that even Gerard had the WTI, which was yesterday, and that was that stop loss there. That was, remember, it was a very, very tight one there. Everybody with me? As backstop, I took a sell on CHF. We're going to see now. We're going to go into it. I still see some downside on the JPY trades or pairs. Remember, like I said to you, watch that resistance there. Yes, and we did push down. I think we're going to see some more downside, my friend. Are we together? But we will go and check it out and see what is actually happening with those yen pairs. All right, guys. Remember yen or the Japs or the Japanese yen. Some guys also trade that as a safe haven. Are we together? Gold and the Japanese yen, they'll use that. Please make a note of that. There's some guys that actually run to it as well. There we go. Laik also does it. Exactly. All right. So guys, let's quickly finish off here. Brent and WTI. All right. You can see we've hit that resistance. WTI has hit that stop loss on that aggressive trade yesterday, which we did say be very careful because of the interest rates as well. It's just being volatile, guys. Let's just wait on this one here, please. Let's not get hectic at this point in time. We are currently, you can see, testing this zone here. Gerard? EJ, can you see that? We are testing that area. We've already tested it, actually. See that zone there? We already tested it. So let's wait and see what happens after this area here. Let's just leave it alone for now. All right. Let's switch over to our USD pairs, where we'll see what happened, because there was definitely a lot of action here. I'm going to switch to an hour frame. Why an hour frame, Ash? Well, we spoke about this fellow here, and we said anything can happen between where there and there. You guys remember that? I said to you, there and there. Now you can see we did push down. There was weakness there. There's the weakness in the US dollar. And then we pushed up again. Now, what's very important about this specific pair here, ladies and gentlemen, is to note the following, is that once we are above, we can reach that zone there. Now, let's go and see there's a zone that's actually lining up. Hold on. Let's go see there's a zone that's actually lining up. Let's go back and see. You can see here, we are above all of those zones. There's the price now. We are above all of that. There we go. So look where we are. We are currently above here. Can you see that? We're above the resistance. And we are currently approaching this area here now. That zone is 20 pips away. So it can react here. Let's put that in place. And then obviously the next area will be over there. So let's quickly go back and see. There we go. Right there. So if we keep seeing dollar strength, we push till there. But what's important about this, and I want to put this as a reminder to you guys. What did I say to you about northern and southern hemispheres? Whenever you see it this wide on the one side, whenever you see it so wide on the one side, what does it tell us about the buyers and sellers? You guys remember? Buyers are stronger at this stage. Now, that happened yesterday already. Does that make sense? So can you see how even the dollar, the weakening of it inside the northern hemisphere even pans out? And I told you guys, this is what I was actually concerned about, meaning that the northern hemisphere is wider, but yet the dollar index was pushing down. It was more bearish. So that obscurity there, it was already there, and highlighted to you that, guys, it's going to be a rough one because of the obscurity. There are pairs that are looking bullish. There are pairs that are looking bearish, but there's no confirmation. There's no follow through. There's nothing stable that is saying, listen, this is the direction that we could go. Now that could is as accurate as what you're going to get. That could there, not the will, the could. So here we have a much wider frame in terms of buyers, and it's still there. So we could reach the zone here and then possibly even come down. It's very possible, ladies and gentlemen. We could hit that area there and then come down. And remember this, it all goes back to the dollar. What if we reach that same area there, and then we come down? That's what I'm trying to say to you. Does it make sense? So just be careful now. We can reach the zone and then come down. So please be careful. For us, we have to break this area here. This is the zone. We need to break that zone. All right. We're still in the funk. We're still in the funk. We're not out of it yet. All right. Let's go back. USD CAD. Look at this. My word. Look at that. Came all the way down. And then it pushed back up again. It depends on what the market makers do with the price, and that depends on their perception. Yeah, to an extent, I agree. All right, so here we have a push down to the downside. Went and touched that zone there. Went towards the zone here, but more so, let's see if it touched on which time frame it went to touch. Wow. Let's look at the daily. It's not even there. I'm trying to see which time frame could it have touched. Or it just went in like a sword and then drew itself out. See there? See that zone there? Oh, there it is. Found it. There. Can you see that? Touched it right there. And then boom, pushed up again. All right, everybody clear there. Look at that. Push right to the bottom there. All right, and then I must say that's where I sometimes tempted to not put a stop loss because it gets out and then went in our direction. Yep, that's the frustration, isn't it so at times? But guys, if I can just say this to you, these major levels, major points, pivot points, key points, skeleton points, duck points. I've heard some people give weird names for these levels. All right. And what are these levels? Where price reacts. What I've been showing you guys now for a few months, maybe 3 months or so, whatever, right? Please take note of these levels because they are absolutely accurate. They absolutely work. And these levels, it's what happens at the start of a day, what happens at the start of a week, levels at the start of a month, levels at the start of a year. Please write that down for me. Price retraces or moves towards levels at the beginning of a day, beginning of a week, beginning of a month, and a beginning of a year. Please write that down for me. I'll say it one more time, guys. Price moves towards and from levels that start at the beginning of a day, the beginning of a week, the beginning of a month, and the beginning of a year. They are moving in between those areas there. What's in between the start and the end, that's all fluctuation. Is everybody with me? It's all fluctuation. So if you learn and you understand this, it's going to make it easier for you to pick up on intraday trading as well. Because if you know now that from a monthly perspective, from that area there, once it broke that zone, Once it broke that area there, all right? So it breaks here. It breaks above that zone, and then it travels to where? To the zone over here. Can you guys see that right there? So it broke and it went towards, there was nothing here. There was nothing there, but there was something there. There was nothing here. There was nothing here, but there was something there. So this space here, that area and that area is 464 pips. That is for the guys that are even trading intraday. There's some guys that will hold that. They'll hold 400 pips all the way up. They won't even care about getting out. Does that make sense? They'll just wait for it. They break above, they take their entry and they leave it. Now, I know there's a monthly chart, of course. So obviously, you broke up here, came down, next month went up again, came down, but eventually went up. So they waited a few months. That doesn't work for everyone. Some guys will take that break there on a monthly chart. So it broke once, boom, then they'll go down and say, I'm not going to wait 3-4 months. I'm dropping down. Even though it broke above, I'm going to trade it down here. Does that make sense? I'm going to trade it down here. So they drop to shorter time frames to get that movement down there. But the point is that it moves from opening to closing. And in between is what people develop strategies and methods for. Is everybody clear with what I just mentioned there, guys? Right? I think it was pretty straightforward. AUD USD. AUD USD, one hour time frame, detail. Look at that spike to the upside, coming down again. All right. Now, from a daily perspective, look where we are. Look where we are. We hit that. Look at that channel here. That is what some guys call a flag. That's what some guys call a flag, or a rising pennant, or a rising wedge. Mostly a flag, it depends. All right, if it was a wedge, some guys would do it like this. That would be a wedge, or a rising wedge. And then what they're waiting for is a break now to the downside. They're waiting for a break to the downside now. But look at this. Look at this daily frame. Look at all this exhaustion here. Look at all of these candles. Look at all. So will we see a bounce, meaning dollar weakness? And once again, there's some guys that will say this, guys, there's a lot of patterns. So don't get lost in patterns, even although you know patterns. Can I say that again? Don't get lost in patterns, even although you understand patterns. Because sometimes you become obsessed with patterns, then you try to say it's an inverse head and shoulder, but then it's not. Are we together? I'm going to show you a beautiful a traditional head and shoulder pattern now that's currently working. All right. So yes, some guys will say left shoulder, head, right shoulder. They'll say left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But what confirms a head and shoulder pattern is the neckline, number one. And number two, this left shoulder can't go beneath the head. If it goes beneath the head, then it's not a head and shoulder pattern. It's a continuous movement. Is everybody clear? So what do guys do? They start buying from this area here. They buy because they say, no, I'm going to buy the right shoulder. I'm going up. Be very careful. You buy from the right there, we go up, you make money, but it's not confirmed. There's no follow through yet. Is everybody clear? So remember, obsession in the wrong direction becomes a crime. Obsession in the wrong direction becomes a crime. Obsession in the right direction becomes profits. GBP USD. Same story, that wick. All right. Cheryl. Look at this, guys. Coming down to the zone. Could we see a bounce? Could we not? What's important here, this zone. Let me actually do this. Hold on. What's important here is that candle right there. We at the support right now. That's it. We're right there. Can you see it? 1.13198. We're there. Now, from there, if I do this, watch the accuracy here now. There. I just dropped down and I'm finding one right there. Can you see it? Let's drop down one more. Let's see if we can find it. There. On the 6 hour. Do you guys see this? So from there, today's 200 pips. So if there's anyone that wants to take a try on dollar strength, I'll give you an opportunity here. Who is on the side of dollar strength at this moment in time? I'll give you an aggressive trade. Anyone that wants it would be aggressive. All right. A 1 hour or even a 15-minute chart. You get a candle beneath 1.13002. That's 100 pips. That's 100 pips. If this is a very aggressive trade, because you're using a shorter time frame now as an entry, you're not using a higher time frame. All right. Now GBP USD, I'm going to go and correlate the weakness of the pound now. All right, for entry now, let's look. And I'm going to correlate this one, okay, with another pair. If you have doubts, just rather keep quiet. Just stay out. Are we together? Don't even say anything. If you want to go in, you go for it. Does it make sense? If you have doubts, it's cool. Just leave it alone if you have doubts. Don't even attempt. Because you don't want to have any emotions in there at all. At all. That's 122 pips there. Let's do this. Hold on. Very tricky here because, Laik, your risk and reward. Do you see this here? Do you see the zone here? Now look at this. Teresa, look at this. If we do this and we place it above that area, it's almost, it's less than a 1 to 2. Can you see that? 148, 226. But this is the problem technically now. Mike, this is the problem technically. If you put your stop loss here, which we have seen, Jethro, if you put it there, price can come up, hit that area, and then go down. Does it make sense? Are we together? No, I'm referring to your spike, my man. All right. Cheryl, you also mentioned it. Frustrating, hits that spike, or spike hits, and then it goes up. So that's what I'm saying. This is aggressive. Can go up till there, hit, and then come down. Is everybody with me here? So if you are thinking, listen, man, that could be the case, I'm not interested, stay out immediately. Don't even get in. Does it make sense? Just leave it alone. Is everybody clear? So remember, there's two options here. First option, Laik's one, market execution. That's market. That's right now. That's right now. But then there's a second option. Second option. Beneath the zone here. 1.13. 002. I'm doing a speculative entry here. This is not confirmed, but in Ask, we'll confirm when that candle closes. Either a 15-minute or an hour. It's all good. 15-minute or an hour time frame. All right. You can see, obviously, from an hourly perspective, we are still above. So if our closes beneath 1.13, aggressively speaking now, we can try and trade it down to 1.12 flat. Please write that down. 1.12 flat. Guys, got it? So can you see what we're trying to trade here? This will be aggressive. Now, has it broken a trend line from there to there? Yes, once, twice, and even 3 times. Aggressively now. Is everybody clear? Has it created lower lows? Yes. Has it created lower highs? Yes. Is everybody clear? Let's go do some more digging here. Let's put on that Fibonacci fan. I like to put that on to show us the extent of the break. The extent of the break. How far did it break? Look at that, 61%. Now, Ash, what does that 61.3850 mean in this case? I want you to look at two areas here. The first part I want you to look at is everything that's above this trend line. Can you guys see that? Is everybody with me here? I want you to look at that zone there. Price has managed to move up from there to there 100%. Is everybody clear? Then it broke. Can you see how this is where it broke? So which means the 100% movement on the left-hand side was broken now. Is everybody with me here? So now it's retracing back down to where it started. So how deep is it retracing back? Let's now put the red in place, the red. We've now retraced back 38% of what? This specific uptrend here. We've now then gone past 50% of what? This uptrend here. We've now also, we're busy passing 61%, which is around this area here. Now look at that space there. That's the ground it needs to cover. Look how much it came down with as a counter. Is everybody with me? This is a counter here. It counted, it's now countering 61% of this entire movement here. So probability then kicks in. Does that make sense? Teresa, once again, here's science. The higher the probability in your sample, the more accurate it can possibly be, isn't it so? So here the probability is panning out on a shorter time frame that this aggressive trade here could possibly hit that 91 pip mark for us. So do we have the technicals in place? Yes. You can use indicators if you want. Use a RSI if you want. Use a moving average if you want. Use Bollinger Bands if you want. Does it make sense? Put that on. Is the fundamental supporting this temporarily? We have a stronger dollar at this point in time. So let's go back to what I said in the beginning. It comes back to the question, are you willing to take the risk, yes or no? At the end of the day, you walk into Spar, Pick n Pay, Woolworths, whatever it is. Who's tried all the milk? Who's tried Spar, Woolworths, Pick n Pay, Checkers? Is there someone that's tried all their milk before? All of them, right? So you've tried all their milk. But at some point, you walked into Checkers and be like, you know what? I'm used to Woolworths. But you know what? Spar's milk is 5 rand cheaper. The risk you took for less quality milk in your eyes, you took the risk. Are we together? So it all goes back to the question. Are you willing to take the risk, even although you know it's 5 rand cheaper? Spar is also traded on the JSE. Pick n Pay is also traded on the JSE. Are we together? So you have to look at these technicals and you have to ask yourself the question, will you take the risk in drinking that milk? It's just what it is. Everybody clear with this one, guys? Everybody clear? Now remember this GBP USD. I'm going to go and bench that now against GBP NZD. If you have your laptops, if you were looking at GBP NZD, I want to show you that currency pair. All right, I want to show it to you because then I need to go back to NZD USD I have to give Siyabonga some credit there. I want to show you guys the level that he asked about. We want to see how far it came, because I said I'm gonna keep it there so we can check it out in the morning. Who can already see what I'm actually talking about here? Who can already see what I'm talking about here? Who can see what I'm referring to here? All right. If you can, let me know. Maybe ask the question a different way. The 2 points, you mean the Bulls and the Bears? The Bulls and the Bears, the point there, Mike? The Bulls and the Bears? Yes. The 2 points is, remember, this is like a trend line. This is like a trend line. Okay, so it's a trend line, all right, that shows you the downside or the upside. So if you do it the other way around, so these are levels within the trend. You can use it for that specific purpose. So whether you're doing a downtrend or an uptrend, this red line here, that's the point. So from there, as an example, so from there, that's where the uptrend started. So the uptrend started there. So you draw it like you would use a normal trend line, like you would draw just a normal trend line. All right. These are automatically pointed, or they appear automatically as it's programmed. All right. So at this point in time, you can see that this neckline here, let's quickly go and look. Look at that neckline right there. We've broken through. 38% is not a higher probable answer for guys in terms of trend. They want to at least see it move to 50%, then they engage. Do you see that? So 38%. So now you're demarcating. Okay, hold on. It can still bounce from there. Do you see that? But if this is truly a head and shoulder pattern, which we are anticipating, there's the one shoulder. All right. Good. And here's the other shoulder there. Now, I want you to notice this. Look at that there. Look where the right shoulder went and resisted, right there. What did I say to you? The beginning of a month. Look at the accuracy of price, guys. This is the beginning of the month. This was at the beginning of October. Do you see that? So the beginning of October, we have resisted in October, and we've come down in November now. Please also write this down. If you want to make tens, write this down. Many people say, Ash, if I put in 1,000 Rand, how much can I make on a trade? Please write this down. If you want to make tens, it's 10 Rand, 20 Rand, 30, 50, 60, 75, 80. If you want to make tens, you must have hundreds in your account. If you want to make hundreds, you must have thousands in your account. If you want to make thousands, you must have tens of thousands. Your leverage in your balance must always be higher. Otherwise, if you have 1,000 Rand and you want to make 10,000, then it's obscure. Now you got to wait longer for a specific trade to come. Unless, remember, this is now for the guys that are not really traders. Remember, guys, how do I know you're a trader? When you overexpose yourself, you're not a trader. That is one of the basic rules. Is everybody with me? When you come in and you have 1,000 Rand and you put 3/4 in and call that trading, that's not trading. That's a gamble. That's gambling. There's no method. There's no plan. Are we together? If you have 500 Rand in and you want to put in a 0.08, you put 10,000 Rand in and you want to put in 2-3 standard lots. What are you saying? Does it make sense, everybody? So a trader is someone that understands how the fundamentals is displayed on the technicals and what the risk is thereof. When they get in, what is my risk in going into this trade technically that has been affected by what's happening around me? That's it. So if you don't understand that, then you still need more information. You need to be informed. Is everybody clear? Remember, your respect for anything and any person is when they are 100 with you. When someone gives you nonsense and you find out it's nonsense, will you ever trust that individual again or that system? No, you will not. It's impossible. Everybody there, you will not trust it. All right, I can, Ash. If you want to make tens, have hundreds in your account. If you want to make hundreds, 200 Rand, 300 Rand, you must have thousands. If you want to make thousands, you must have tens of thousands. If you want to make tens of thousands, you must have hundreds of thousands. I'm not speaking about higher lot sizes. I'm referring to a systematic way of trading. Of course, if you trade NASDAQ and you have 1,000 Rand and you put in 0.07, yes, you can make quite a bit of money, more than 1,000 Rand. It's obvious, but that's overexposing yourself. I'm not talking about that. No, I'm speaking about someone that has a plan. Does it make sense, everybody? Someone that actually has a plan. That says, I'm willing to make 50 Rand now. I'm willing to make, compound that. And now while in my second trade, 100, third trade, 200. Now, you know already, if you're trying to make 200 on your third trade, you must have thousands in your account. Does that make sense, everybody? And let me then conclude this and say the following. Listen to this. It's confirmed in the same way with leverage. Because the higher you leverage yourself, the more positions you can open. Isn't it so? 1 to 100, 1 to 500. So by default, the principle is when you have a higher leverage, then you can put a good plan into place. All right, everybody. Is everybody clear there? If you had a one-to-one account, you guys understand you would not be able to make the amount of money or at least put in the kind of position that you want to put in if you had a one-to-one account. If you have a 1 to 100, now you know your leverage is higher. All right, less leverage, more margin required. Less leverage, more margin on your account that's required. Is everybody clear there, guys? These are things that we get faced with every day, guys, and I have to mention them. All right. So less leverage, more deposit needed from your money. A share price 1-to-1, if it's 250 Rand, you're going to have to pay 250 Rand. There's no leverage for you to pay a cheaper price. Is everybody clear there, guys? All right. Only if you don't understand it. I only agree with you partially, Jethro. If you don't understand leverage and there's no plan, then yes, it is dangerous. So I agree partially with you. If a person understands leverage and they know what it is and how they can utilize it to their advantage, then I disagree with you 100%. All right, let's go to that NZD USD. Is there anyone interested in the GBP NZD for a short? For a short, I'm going to give you a level. You can let me know. That might be too far down, but let's make sure. Let's make sure. All right, the guys want to try. Guys want to try. All right, let's get another area here. I'm moving up. I'm moving up. Up, up, up. 192. 192. Okay, we're getting a 192 so far. 193. We close. Whew. Anyone interested in the short here? That would be from that zone to that zone, 187 pips. Why is the distances so massive here? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? Why is the distance massive here? From 195 to 193. Why is there so many pips rather? Let me ask it that way. But then you go to another pair and there's less pips in a movement like this. Lots of news coming out for the GBP today. Technically, we still see some downside here. We can pause it if you guys want. Very little activity on the left. It has to do with these exchange rates as well. Remember the sizes, guys. The bigger the index size, all right? No, it's not the time frame, but I understand what you are saying. But remember, 195 to 193 is not that far away. It's only 2 ranges away. It's not that far, all right? Now, the index size plays a part. The exchange rate plays a part. The further away the value from one currency to the other, the distance between that counts. So the higher the value, the more pips in between. Look at the Nasdaq as an example. Nasdaq is a 10,000 index point, 10,000 point. US 30, 10,000 point. Well, it's more than 10,000. It's like 30 or something like that. Are we together? So, but then look at the S&P. It's only 1,000 point index. So when you measure the pips or the pip distances between those three, you find the Nasdaq and the US 30, you get more pips in between shorter time frames versus S&P in the shorter time frame. The S&P doesn't have as many pips in between because the index is smaller. Now the same thing happens here. If it's a 0.96, you won't get 100 pips. It's 1.96. Are you guys learning something here, guys? You guys learning something here? So if it's 1.96 opposed to 0.96, okay, 0.96 is a smaller value between what? GBP and NZD. Are we together? 0.96 versus 1.96. All right. Is there anyone that wants to take this trade here, guys? I'll do some risk and reward, and then you can decide if you'd like. Do chicken for this one. That's Jethro. But I respect the honesty, though. All right, so if we do a sell here, this becomes a challenge for the aggressive guys, which increases the risk, obviously, but it looks good. I mean, look at this. That wick must also be tested. Look at that. Just note that you'll have to monitor this very carefully because of that zone. It hasn't retested there, and it could not even come back. It could bounce still there and then push up again. So this is the risk. Phillips is a long. All right. This is a long there. That's cool that Jeff. Shauna will take the risk. All right. Anyone else? Cheryl's with Jeff there. All right, that's cool. I mean, that's how we do, isn't it so? Anyone else? Anyone else? Shauna says yes. Anyone else? Divan will take the risk. Laik will take the risk. Ash will take the risk there. Okay. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see. 374. Okay, not bad. For what could be an hour or two, or let's see. All right. You guys ready to go? I want to go to the NZD USD now. The bond collector likes it, Tabi saying. All right. So guys, can I go to the NZD USD? Let's go and see what's happening there. Oof. Look at this. Beneath, look at this. 58361, emergency exit. Do you see that? Done. Hit the emergency exit, close beneath, out. The stop loss was beneath, but already you would have been out here if you took the emergency exit. Now, what I want to give Siyabonga credit for is that 59148. So let's give Siyabonga a round of applause, because Siyabonga said he sees rejection at 59148. We give credit where it's due, yeah? Nice work, Siyabonga. Nice work. All right. It was a shorter time frame. I can't remember what time frame it was that you gave me, but it hit that specific pivot point there. Was it a 1 hour? Was it? No, it was the daily, and we went back. It was the daily, and we went back. Siyabonga just confirmed that. Is he still on? Siyabonga is not on. I believe it was the daily. Let's just go and double check. Let's just go and check. I believe it was the daily, eh? Hold on. There. There. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There. 59148. So it stopped right there. And but just remember, even although it rejected here, can you see the zone here? We are now passing. We're there. Can you guys see that? We've passed all of that. So hold on. Let's do this. Take that off. Take this. So we left with this areas here. All right. So that's where price is now. Let's go and see where it could possibly go to. Could it go back? Can you see this area here? You see that? 57288. I thought I saw Jet say looking for a short. I think I said that. Saw that. But looking for good short. Okay, so you're looking for a short here. A short. All right, I saw it. I saw the short, but then I quickly went over and I just made a note. So okay, so if you're looking for the short, are you talking about getting in now there, Jeff? You're looking about getting in there now. TP, there is one here, but tell us if we close. There is one there, but tell us if we close. 0.56. Okay, so you are, is it 5.6 flat or just 5.6? 5.6 something, 5.6 flat. Yay, all the way down. Okay, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 5.7 flat. Is it 5.7 flat or the 5.7 we have there? 5.700, right? So that's Jethro's TP there. There's TP1, TP2. So Jethro, if you're looking for that TP, can you see where it's found there? It's in this candle here. And it matches up there as well. Okay, well, look, that could be a spike actually that goes through both TPs, boom. All right, so whichever one you choose, I think it will hit both. I'm not so sure about the short, seems to be holding. I see a bounce. That share sees a bounce. Okay, and then enter at 0.57, stop loss 59. Okay, but Jeff, you have to be more specific, man. When you say 59, are you saying 59 flat? 59 what? Because you're just saying 0.57. We're already at 57.78. You got to be more specific there. See? Jeff? Okay, so short. No, but just the numbers, man. Just give us the numbers. That's if you're using a laptop, the numbers on the same key, it's on the same num lock. So it's flat. Okay, well then if it was 5.9, they've missed the boat. Entered 5.9, missed the boat already. What's the W? Hey. Oh, that was a good one. I must say thank you very much for hey, Uncle Philip. Hey, Jet, I'm struggling here, my friend. All right, so 59, I mean, it's already past. Very old top is no easy. 59. Enter at 57. 57 flat. There is a possibility. Absolutely. Could possibly if it holds here, but if we see a close of the hourly time frame beneath the share, it's a challenge. Then it might just move down. All right. All right. So enter at 57. Okay, so you wait. Okay, so that's where that comment came in, where you're waiting for them to cross. Because I remember I saw that you said you're waiting for it to cross. Okay, cool. So let's just watch it. Let's see what it does from here to here. If it does push and we enter 57, and then we can check it out. Okay. USD JPY. This was the one of yesterday. Hit the TP there, 146, and then pushed up again. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, all right, that's pretty straightforward. This could now create a lower high. And also, I mentioned to you guys where price was yesterday, it was beneath all of these zones here. It went down to these two areas here, and then it pushed up again. That's pretty straightforward. Let's leave it for now and see how it tracks. Let's go to, was it that CHF JPY? No, it was the AUD. That was the AUD JPY. Yes, there's like X1 there, the resistance. Yeah, push down. I still see some further downside, Jay. I see further downside to 81, roughly that area there. Can you see that there? That's 91.767. That zone there. 767, 91. You hit the stop loss. All right. GBP USD is falling. Yep. For the aggressive guys, remember that was an aggressive trade. Pierre, let's go and check it out. Let's check it out. Euro JPY. Let's go and check it out. Euro JPY. The yen is pretty strong. You're welcome. Right. For short. Do you have a specific TP there, Pierre? Just give me a area that you were looking to short it to. See you, Cheryl. See you guys. See you at recap. The GBP NZD. Okay, I'll give you a sec whilst I'm getting that from Pierre there. GBP and ooh, look at that. Beautiful, yeah? These are all aggressive now. This is aggressive, remember? Shorter time frames. This is more aggressive. The GBP USD was another one. It was aggressive. All right, this was also aggressive. And I said to you guys a 15-minute time frame. There's a 15-minute close beneath. There's a 15-minute close beneath. Sorry, Mentabo. Let's go to back to the Euro JPY. This was also aggressive. 141. Let's go and check it out. 141.59. Let's go check it out. $141. Okay, so this is still far away. All right, it's still far away. We could first 142. Let me just make sure if I'm missing anything here. Because to go to that area there, Pierre, we needed to break 144. Okay, so I hear you. It's rejected before at that area. So we needed to break it. That's the first thing. Once it's broken here, then we start looking for areas that are closer to 144. You mentioned that you'd like 141. So let's go and see if it does add up though first. I'm going to the beginning of, well, to the monthly chart and seeing if your 141 adds up here. So your 141 is there, but can you see here? There's still some downside. So, ooh, there. No, here, beautiful. No, here, there. Can you guys see it there? Look how it touches that wick there. So it's definitely a zone that one can look out for. What I would do, I do this, Pierre. I bring it up till here so that you factor in anything that could possibly go wrong, okay? For example, what could go wrong? The wick doesn't touch your 141.59. So you move it up 141.76 so that at least if there's a wick and there's a rejection, the probability is high it could hit your specific TP instead of it going down, okay? So that's the first thing. I'll take this off, all right? Remember, we want that area to break. So I'll give you two trades. Based on what Pierre is saying there, 141. Here's the second, here's the first one first, the first trade, first TP. This is price action, okay? This is just price action. All right, so there's the first trade, 143. 143 adds up here. Let me show you where it adds up. Right there. So that's the first one. Is everybody clear? Here's the second TP. There. You see that? First TP, second TP. So some guys would want to go in, take their profits. Are we together? Wait to see what happens, because look at this zone here. Can you guys see this entire area? There's noise here. All right, there is noise here. So there's a very big possibility that the following can happen. We can go down and we can start to do this. We can even go out because it's done it before. You see that? But it doesn't mean it will go all the way up. For it to go all the way up, we'd need to break that area there. Then we consider, but it can reject and come back down again. So please, these areas are very important. I'm mentioning there's no stop loss yet. I see a question there. Shemaine, stop loss. Remember, there's no stop loss yet. Why? Can someone tell me why there's no stop loss yet? Why is there no stop loss yet? Anyone? Nice, Laik. Let's give Laik a round of applause there. All right. The break is not there yet. All right. The break is not there yet. Once the break is there, then it's much easier. Nicely done, Laik. All right. Everybody clear? Everybody 100 here, guys. I think this one is pretty straightforward. It's a very nice trade as well. But remember, the yen is doing better. Are we together, guys? There's been a bit of a bounce there in the economy as well. Remember, the guys, that specific economy is trying to keep things rather low because they're a major exporter. So they don't want the inflation high. They don't want their currency too strong because they're doing global export, on mass scale. All right. Everybody clear with that? In the form of cars, in the form of tech. Tech in televisions, in smartphones, etc. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. Okay. I see another question there from Gerard. Where will the stoppers be if the break? All right, so that now is going to be speculative. Okay, because the question it's not where will it be, where could it be? So it will be speculative. All right, so let's change it quickly. Let's make it pending. Let's say we close, as an example, let's say we close roughly there, 144. Could, yeah, 144. Sorry, guys, this is the color of the entry bar. It's blue. I know you can't see it. I can't see it myself. Sorry, that's how it's programmed. But it's 144.265. So let's just say at 144, you can see it there. Can you see entry 144.265? And we take it to 143.084. That's 118 pips. So your stop loss there, Gerard, to give you an indication. Very tight. Hold on. It would even fall in today's firing line. So be very careful with it. If you're going to trade it, what would be a greater follow through is if we see a daily candle close beneath 144. If we can get a daily momentum candle closing beneath that, then it's a better place for us to get that specific entry. Okay, not so much the hourly or the 30 or the 15 or the 12. Are we together? So just be careful with that one. See you, Devon. Is everybody 100%, guys? Is everybody with me? Did you guys learn something this morning, guys? I think it was a pretty packed session. We spoke about some good things here, things you can definitely apply. What we're obviously looking at, just to do a bit of a recap here, guys, before we shoot off, is we are waiting for the NFP. We need that sucker to come out, because once that guy is out of the way, then we really, really would like us to get some traction. Is there opportunities? Yes. Did we take some opportunities? Yes. Remember, we are taking them on a higher risk basis. Is everybody clear? You can take trades on lower risk basis or higher risk basis. It depends what's happening in the market at that particular time. It's like traffic. You can go into and go to work at a specific time when there's heavy traffic. It's a risk you take, or wait for the traffic to die. Well, not die, but tune down or turn down. There was no joke. Yeah, it was a bit of a serious one. But I told my 10-year-old Laik, Dad is serious because my seriousness also helps me make some money, helps me work hard. So you got to appreciate the seriousness, and you have to appreciate the fun part as well. Both sides have to even out, isn't it? So are you going to take the trade based on high risk, what's happening in the market currently, volatility, or will you wait and say, listen, let me wait for it to die down, then I get into the market? And that's preference. That's preference. No one can tell you, you have to do it like this. That's preference. All right. Everybody clear? So I'm with you again. Recap. All right. Recap. I'm with you. We're going to see what has happened. Is there any movement? All those pound announcements. Let's see it get out of the way. Hopefully those aggressive trades do pan out the way we had anticipated. The GBP NZD and the GBP USD. You can see it's still pushing down there, guys. So if you're in there, some guys would have taken their profits already. They would have taken their profits. They would have gotten in, right? So as an example, let's say they got in here now. That's 50 pips as an example. Look at that. They're out. They put 3 standard lots. They're out. Does that make sense, everybody? So there's some guys, they're already out. Remember last week, guys, I said to you, a compounded system is great. 50 Rand, first trade. Second trade, 100 Rand. Third trade, 200. Remember that. So some guys, they would have gotten their first trade now here for the day. They made their $100. They're out. They're out already. Then now, and then they go into GBP USD. Now let's go there quickly. See, you guys are firing me up again. We're about to go. GBP USD. So if you go to GBP USD, guess what? After that 15-minute break there, that candle, they made $50. All right. Then they compounded that as an example. Here's the second trade, $100. After the 15-minute close, Ashley's already out. There, you see. Thanks for confirming. It's good. I like the confirmations. All right. It gives more credibility. Now look at this. That's 27 pips. Are we together? 27 pips, guys, on 0.75. Are we together? 0.90. Is everybody clear? Guys, pull out and they're out. All right. All right. So I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. Have a wonderful late morning. Good early afternoon. All right. Drink a lot of water. Keep hydrated. All right. I'll see you guys later. It's good for concentration. It is. All right. I'll see you guys later. Ciao, ciao, guys. Bye. Mr. W. Hey. Ek wens dit was maar plat, joh. All right. Cheers.